Hey, Chicky, Chicky. Y'all don't have to go in just 'cause I'm over here. You can be out here. Yeah, it's okay. It's okay, Chicky, chickies. You're okay to be outside. Yeah. No problem. Play all you want. Just stay safe. That's all I say. Well, whoo doggy. I think it's about 95 degrees out here right now. um, you can see, let's see, wait, there's a lot of my plants that are looking pretty rugged. Here, this is an interesting deal. See this toothache plant over here in the tires, obviously heat, that tire is just hot. See, here's this toothache plant over here in this little pot. It's got a deal down there to hold water, and so that's kind of the difference. Whew, the difference on a day like today. Crazy, crazy. So I had previously done a just yesterday a tour of the yard. I just wasn't feeling all that chipper and spry, so I didn't really do a whole lot. I come back over here because, you know, get rid of these shoes. That's so much better. I've been barefoot as long as I don't step in the heat. It's hot and just every once in a while I step where the sun's been baking that carpet. Cooks it good. Yeah. I'm trying not to talk about everything because I'm running through here looking at stuff. But I'll put that in the other video. What I will point out now, though, is I'm gonna see if these chickens came out yet or not. Open the door. There they are. 1, 2, 3, 4 of them. Big Mama hasn't came out yet. She's still in there. Come on, Big Mama. You come out too. So they're running around. City got me though. So I can only have 4. But the reason you're gonna count 5 right now is because sadly the one bearded chick over there, I don't remember what her name is, but she has to well, her life has to be forfeit. She's an egg eater. She eats eggs. So I didn't want to send her to my friends, and I'd never really wanted to kill her, but at the same time, the city isn't giving me no option. So someday soon, whenever that day is, she will go to the barbecue grill. It's really hot out here, but I just feel like sitting out here. Something I've been doing though. I'm gonna show. This is I wanted tag everything, especially before people start trampling in my yard. Here, I'll show it on this peekaboo. Oh, look at that. Oh. Okay. Alright. Peekaboo. Toothache plant. So here's what I've done. You get the wire. Of course, this is an actual clothes hanger. They're not all clothes hangers. This is an aluminum can. Old mellow yellow. Learned this from the Suburban Homestead. Real artistic guy if you've never checked him out. Suburban Homestead. And so he took the aluminum cans and take a pencil or a pen and write the name of the plant. Uh-oh, I'm losing you. And then voila, there's your tag. So it won't wear out like the plastic name tags, which give you a lot of information, but you know, I've spread them around, so I can't put those on everything. But I've also tried the blinds. I have these I don't see any right here. I don't know what they were, but it worked the same as the blinds. The problem is you put that, you write the name on with a marker, and it don't even make it through one season. The rain and the weather just deteriorate the marker, and then you lose it. But this, it's fairly permanent. I know the wire could rust down and different things could happen, but I like it. I like the suburban farmer guy. He's a real artistic kind of guy. He's quite the introvert. Who knows? I like him. I'd probably be a lot more like him if I had my own place. But anyway, cool stuff. Run around here and see what else I've got to talk about. I was thinking about making a bag of potatoes and emptying it out. But so what I was wanting to talk about is more about, can I survive? These are more potato bags. Get the potatoes in these buckets over there. What I did is I went ahead and left a lot. I only emptied that one potato bag that was early. It had a little bit, but I think it would have had more. This is that bag right here. You can still see a green deal. Because I put everything back in it and it still kept growing. But the rest of these potato bags have, they straight up died. So they're probably good to check and see what's inside of them. However, I think I'm going to choose this one. Right off the bat, there's a tiny one. So, what do we got in here? I see potatoes. There they are. A little yellow, was it the yellow russets or something that we call them? Uh-oh. That's a rotting potato. Maybe that was the old one. There's potatoes. And I'll dig through this and see what I get. All that dirt. For what? What? What did all that dirt do? I tell you what. I don't know why I can't get more potatoes than that. That's really not any different than the first batch that I plucked out too early. What's the big idea? Hey, do you know? It's just me. Maybe I don't do the potatoes so well, but those are still the little yellow ones. Maybe I'll try these other ones eventually. I'm not gonna do it today. And see how they do. Woo! Getting the sweat going. So here's that's what's that helped get through a couple of days maybe. Mixed with some other things for a couple of people. So that brings my question. Is this really going to bring survival? Can I really live on this? And is there really a such thing as self-sustainability? You know, I hear a lot of other homesteaders and whatnot bring this topic up. Like being the lone wolf survivor, right? Not very likely going to work. Yeah, there's Mom. Take 29, whatever. Back to you. Let's go see what Mom's doing with the chickens. The chickens that are running loose. Whew. Feel the heat on my feet. Yeah.
I only seen 3 of them.
Yeah. 4 of them were behind the coop.
Well, these 3 were together. They were out here. I didn't do nothing. They ran to their home. But I don't know where the other one went.
There's 2 there.
There's 3. The other 2 are already in there.
Well, 4 were back there and 1 was inside. Now I don't know what you've done.
I didn't do anything. I didn't say anything to him.
Okay.
The cat's with me though. But the cat didn't even seem like they even noticed it.
No. Yeah, well, I guess that's what they're going to do. They're going to be too hot to get out. I can't get around.
Do they have water?
Yeah, go ahead. Well, who knows where the chickens are, but sure they'll come back eventually. Well, they're somewhere. They're probably in the coop. They ain't been out of the coop in a while. Ever since the city got up my butt so far, I couldn't breathe. I had them stay in the coop. They may not know what to do with themselves getting out and about. So, there you go. Yeah, there's 3 of them right there. Well, it appears all 5 are in here. 1. And we had the 2 running on the side. 3. I guess he'd been there 4 and 5. So they're all in here. How about them apples? Well, guess that's gonna be like the American public again soon. Especially those in New York, right? They're gonna get hit with a nuclear bomb, so they're all gonna stay inside their house and take showers. Listening to the news for the government to tell them what to do. So, okay. All right. Good times. Yeah. Back to the sobering thought of how we're going to survive all this stuff. Every time I sit down, an ant falls from the tree and starts climbing on me. Isn't that wonderful? You ever had that? Especially if the city only wants you to have 4 chickens. You've got this garden. You're living in the city. You're producing a bag full of potatoes that may get you through a day or two for 2. I mean, we've got 3 people in this house, and I know other people that will probably knock on my door, and there's other people in this neighborhood. So how do you help? How do you help? How do you feed? How do you protect? How do you take care of everybody and what's coming? I mean, if the city would let you have even 6, 8, 10, a dozen, 20, I don't think it should limit anybody under 20 chickens. That's just the truth. You should be able to have at least 20 chickens. But I could live with 10 to a dozen. And even 6 or 8 is better than 4. I mean, for instance, there's chickens that I got back there. 2 of them, I don't even know if they still lay eggs. They're so old. And the other one's a little bit younger, Big Mama. And then the gray one is even younger than is the youngest. Was the youngest in the bunch. But so that'd be eggs, but how many eggs? You know. And there's 5, so I get to butcher 1 for food, meat. But how do you produce any more meat? You ain't got no rooster. So then there you are. You're stuck with just egg protein off of 4 chickens. Probably aren't even going to lay that many eggs. If you keep it down to 2 or 3 people, you can throw eggs into your diet. And you know, root crops. That's what David the Good says. You know, and that is probably significantly important if you really want to survive. I mean, think about potatoes, beets, radish, rutabagas, turnips, canis, Jerusalem artichokes. There goes them ants climbing on me. And well, I don't know what else. That's just the only thing I deal with here. And even the canises, I couldn't really keep them going very well. You gotta take them in. They die off. I tried keeping them in my greenhouse. They died off. even though you can do it, because my friend did. That's where I got them from. They did it all. They did them all. They would gather them up every year and bring them inside. She had them all the time. But she's gone now, and her husband is redesigning all of the food growing ideas. So here I am sitting here. I basically got this, and I can go, my friend in Belton, but what if you get EMP'd? I've measured it out on a bicycle, and I forget how far, 20 something miles. And it can be done, 20, 30 miles, whatever can be done. You're talking about hours of a journey, especially for a fat lord like myself. There's all these health problems that I can't even keep up with the yard. I'm struggling to stand. I can't get out of the bed in the morning and step on my feet. They hurt. I'm looking at the dog right now. Oh, the heck is wrong with that dog? I don't know what's wrong with me, let alone the dog. If I'm by myself, one way or another I'll survive, right? That's what everyone says. How much of a farce? How much of a farce is that? Oh, I could trap out of desperation squirrels, rabbits, rats even, birds, wild birds. You're not going to get much out of a wild bird unless it's turkeys or buzzards, and I don't even know if you're supposed to eat buzzards. You can do about anything if you're wanting to survive. Bugs, plants. It's not going to be a happy diet. You're not going to be like, it could be healthy though. I'd probably be a lot healthier than I am right now. But I think you've got to have your canned goods, right? I mean, we're gonna have to have our spams. You're gonna have to have our chicken and tuna cans, sardines, whatever, meat proteins in a can, soups, different stuff. I got all that. My greatest concern was water. I've tried different ways to catch rainwater, but without the proper way to catch rainwater. I need to get one of them big containers. I had ideas, but when you're short the money, you can't really get the containers. Especially when they're, you're talking 60 to 150, 200. Depends on what kind of container you're going to look for to get and how many will you need to survive on. They said we've got 3 people here, and you've always got to count in 2 or 3 other people on top of how many is in your home. You got family and friends that are going to be desperate. They don't even think of this much. They don't even think this far into the game. They think, well, what am I going to do to save my butt? They don't think that far. Most people don't. I've thought that far for a long time, but then when you're limited on resources, there you go, you're stuck. We're getting a lot of tomatoes. Got a lot more tomatoes coming. But I'm not gonna produce anything like I just watched Justin Rhodes, and they produced a bunch of tomatoes. And in a greenhouse, I guess. And then they had them potatoes. They had a bunch of potatoes. What do they have? 10 the 20 acres though they're dealing with. I don't even have 1 acre. And some people have even less than that, right? Container gardening on a patio in an apartment. Yeah, I'm thinking you better have a closet and a room set aside for storing up food. Right? And stuff's just getting more and more expensive, so hopefully you've done whatever so far. So Henry Kissinger said we're going to be at war by August with Russia. I assume that means by September. Because they won't do exactly like he or an elite would say, but because I don't know, they're getting to where they tell you straight up now, don't they? I still think September though, because that's what the elite globalists have always been. They've always been high and mighty loving of September, just because it's significant in the Hebrew calendar. So, here we go. Here we go. What's CERN doing? What's our government doing? What's Holland doing? What's Russia doing? What's Lithuania doing? What's all these places? I don't know. It ain't good, is it? India, Sri Lanka, China. I don't know about anybody else, but I just open my eyes and go on the internet and just see endless insanity. Endless. Yeah, I watch Truth Unedited, I think is his name, and I love what he says and does all the time, but recently he was talking about some stuff that made it sound like, I guess he was trying to point out the fact that the 4 horsemen, I think he was trying to say, would be more obvious. So I put a message on his video. Nobody ever responded, of course. But, so the first horse, the white horse, is supposed to control and dominate and bring a lot of problems. That my point is that how quickly will each horse do its job, and will not each horse overlap with one another to fulfill their jobs as a whole? So what's to say all 4 of them aren't running around already? It takes the build up. Look at it. If the first horse was the CV, the CV1 Niner, and it was to dominate and control, it did. It did. That's what my point to him was. Look at how much the world is under control now and dominated, being told what to do over this stupid crapola with the Jabbo and even more further virusing stuff, masks still, and things that are still out there. That's what it is. I'm telling you, the white horse with the bow, with an arrow, the crown. Why not? Why not? Why can't it be? You know, it talks about people being still giving into marriage and having kids and everything when all these things take place. Let's read what, Matthew 24 or something. It's like, why not? Why couldn't it be? I'm gonna sit around looking for a Hollywood version of anything, and I get it. people say, well, it's got to match. It's got to match the Word of God exactly. You know, I'm not going to force something in there, and I don't want to force anything in there. I want to find a good balance. I want to force anything, but I don't want to be so gullible either that I don't never see it coming. I want to know where I'm at in the timeline. Red Horse War. Okay, yeah, that could have always been loose, but you look at what's getting ready to happen in conjunction with the white one. Then the pale horse. You kind of got that with Ukraine. And yeah, there's all that green and the trident symbols. Zelensky or Vladimir, whatever the meaning of it being green and stuff. Whatever it is with his name. And that being this wheat thing, whether it's really true or not. This is what's starting to take place now. Right? And so then we move to the black one. Death and everything else. Famine, pestilence, disease and everything. Well, it's all there. You know, it's like if you put all the horses together and start... If you put all the horses together and have them run around together, they'll fulfill all their missions and lead to the following seals to let everything play out. I don't know. I can't not see it that way. I'm trying to be so normal like other people, and I can't. I can't see like other people. I can't feel like other people. I can't ignore like other people. I can't. I don't know. And the further we get into this, the more I personally feel so spiritually attacked. I physically can't even move. I physically struggle to get out of my bed and walk across the floor. It wasn't always that way, obviously. I mean, well, I did all this stuff in the backyard over the past 11 years. Or whatever, however many years it's been. Since 2011. Trying to have everything into place so that when the time came, I wouldn't have to work as hard. But now that the city's here, they're forcing me to work harder than I ever had to do before to even set it up. Now where the heck do I go from here? I don't know, but it may not matter. I mean, if all shit breaks loose. That's my goal. That's my dream. I keep praying it. And maybe I'm just demented and screwed in my head, but I'm praying for the crap hole to hit the fan, because I just want to get through this crap and get to the other side. And I'm sick and tired of all these people. People are so broken and twisted in their heads. And these people are running the world. They're running amok in our life and our societies. I wish I could see things some other way, but I can't. And I don't know how to see it any other way. Does somebody else see it some other way? I mean, I sure as heck don't. I don't know. It's like, it's crap. I know my nephew's like, and planning for the future and stuff. But I think he's also smart enough to see what's going on. But the thing is, I've tried to go ahead and, not put all my eggs in one basket. So still plan for the future, but deal with what is possible to happen right now. Like, where are we at in the timeline? What if it's the worst spot? Let's prepare. What if we're not? Then we need to prepare for what and how to get down the road. trying, but I'm telling you, my view is getting very narrow. There you. Very narrow. You know what I'm saying? Very narrow. Yeah. And they bring this new telescope out and put it out there. Whatever that means. I don't know. It's because you can see into the heavens doesn't mean you can get past the firmament, right? So people that are worried about whether or not space really exists or not, it's the heavens. It's the heavens up there. And it's on the other side of the firmament. So I don't know. Call it what you want, but it just seems like a bunch of shit. Doesn't it? I don't know. Oh well. Maybe CERN will bring up a bad one pretty soon out of his pit. That's what I think Kissinger's probably right, especially now with Holland and Lithuania causing Russia problems. That's not going to go well. Holland's done lost his damn mind. I feel sorry for them farmers. Because it's not just the farming with cows farting. They've lost their minds so much that they think they can push Russia. They think they can poke the bear. Stupid asses. I don't know how to stupid. But is that not probably just part of the plan? So, here we go. We really do gotta depend on the Lord, Abba, Father, Yahweh, Yeshua, the Ruach HaKodesh, the Holy Spirit, to lead us, to guide us, to feed us. And maybe that's all he keeps trying to teach me is how much I gotta depend on him. We want to do so much to have some sort of foot stability and help and effort and peace in the game. But how did the first Christians deal with it all? Living in tunnels underground, helping each other from town to town when others couldn't produce food. This is what we're going to have to do, I think. And as we get further and further along, maybe that's what'll happen. Those remnant will come closer and closer together. From wherever we are, through the wilderness and the fleeing from the enemy and the devil who has been loose to wage war on the saints, to overcome them, that we will from wherever come together to help one another until till Jesus comes on the cloud and says, "Come up here, my children. Come up here, my bride," whatever it is. "Come forth from the earth." Well, that's where we're headed, right? Anyway, so there you go. Maybe I shouldn't say anymore. just call this done. I was going to show a little bit more on what I did to make those little tags. You just basically cut it out of the aluminum can, and I bent the wire, stuck it in the ground, hung it on there. So not really a whole lot to it. And then I wrote. I found the pen, well, the pencil worked nicer, but doing it with the pen seemed a little better because I figured the pencil would break or eventually wear out. So I started using the pen. Worked just fine. Anyway, I think it's a neat idea, but onward and upward.